Mola.
Yup. What you guys are seeing is not a joke. What you guys are seeing is not a joke. I wish it wasn't so, but this is really bad for Saros. But I expected more because apparently last week everybody and their mother was playing this game, and then all of a sudden this week reports are coming in. It turns out that that was not true. Social media has lied to me. Everybody was praising this shit, saying it was 10-10s, even saying, going as far as saying that the story was a 10-10, which is major fucking cap. Story is trash. Gameplay is amazing, but then that's about it. You know, when you rate a piece of art, you rate the whole thing. You just don't rate just one thing. But more on that in the video, man. Let's get to it. What's up, guys? Mulligan here. We are back with another video for you guys today. Now, before we start, I hope everybody is doing good. Now, I'm actually shocked because I myself beat Saros. I never played Returnal, but I did play Saros and I beat it, and I also got the real ending too. But what I never expected was, like, when I was last week in freaking X, Twitter, and social media, everybody was praising the shit out of this game, giving it 10-10, 19. I said 19. 9s out of 10, 10s out of 10. A game of the year contender, you know, the whole 9 yards. And I made a video about it. It's still up, I believe. And I said the only thing good about Saros was the gameplay. Everything else was terrible execution. As a matter of fact, the art direction of the biomes are pretty good, but the art directions of the other characters in the game is trash. It's like all the budget went onto Arjun, and then they just don't care about the other characters. The way the pace of the game is terrible, because if we're being honest, you just drop them biome 1 and you could just go all the way up to the priestess in one shot without even having to experience any of the story. Because after every biome, they tell you to come back to headquarters, but if you don't want to, you don't have to. You could keep going. They do have a terrible way to tell the story, and I feel like that's one of the biggest reasons why, remember, allegedly, one of the biggest reasons why this game is not selling so well is around the time Saros came out, Sony had like a lot of negativity surrounding it. It was right off the backs of the news of the 14 days license check, and then after the 14 days, if you own the digital game in Sony, after the 14 days you get a permanent license. And then right before that was the ID checks that Sony was implementing to the multiplayer party and Discord. So all of that coming off the back of the Saros release, and it didn't take haters not even 5 minutes to already start talking about the ending of Saros and how Saros is short and how Saros is a cuck game and all of that. And that also hurt the game sales, because a lot of people didn't even try to investigate. They literally just ran with the narrative. Like, they did not give a shit if the game was good or bad. They just ran with it, and it was a whole misinformation campaign on the game. But if I'm being honest, it wasn't even that far off, because Arjun was a alcoholic and he was abusive to the wife. They don't mention that he was physically abusive. They just say that he was like manipulative and abusive. Could have been emotional abuse. His best friend knew about the affair, and he was gonna tell his wife. So they went on a mission and he killed his friend in an accident. And after that, his wife still found out through emails, and he was an alcoholic, and she told him that he resembles his dad, which he freaking hates, by the way. So she leaves him and runs away from him to the planet Carjun, or whatever that shit is called. I forgot the name of it. I'm sorry. I beat it last week. I forgot the name of it. And then after she runs away from him, the planet works in a mysterious way. Like there's always a never-ending eclipse, and time is warped, and the planet plays with your memories and makes you play out your memories. So for Arjun, it could have just been a couple months, but for his wife, like 100 years passed, like a few centuries. And then she ended up getting close with this young lady that was over there in a mission, and they ended up being together. But that was like, she experienced like a few hundred years into the future. So a lot of people don't like that. Like Sony keeps doing this DEI bullshit, including it in their first party games. And a lot of people don't like it. On top of the fact that this is a niche genre. Like a lot of people don't like to admit that Returnal was not a very popular game. Returnal only sold like around a little bit over 1 million copies. And it is really a niche genre. Even in Steam, right here, even on Steam, the all-time peak was 6,691. So that goes to show it was really just a niche genre. So a lot of people thought Saros was gonna sell like a few million copies, and that was never gonna happen. Allegedly, you know, they could make me eat my words. I could be wrong. I could be full of shit. Allegedly. But we would know, because right now the discourse is that Saros is selling terribly. Saros may struggle to recoup his budget despite great reviews. Analysts. Housemarque Saros launched earlier this month to rave reviews and is legitimate frontrunner of Game of the Year. You see what I mean? This is GameSpot, by the way. You see what I'm saying? They're already saying Game of the Year. Like, get the fuck out of here, bro. Did we just not have Resident Evil 9 Requiem? Did we just not have Mouse PI? Did we just not have Pragmata? Did we just not have Neo 3? What the fuck are these devs on drugs for? It's like first party Sony games are like the best shit ever, bro, for everybody. This is why I fucking, sometimes I just get annoyed by this shit, bro. If it's not a Sony first party title, you're not allowed to win anything, bro. That's crazy. Game of the Year, sure, at this early point in 2026. However, it appears the sales of the game have thus far been slower than its predecessor, Returnal, and the game may struggle to recoup its budget. That's according to Rich Elias of Alinea Analytics, who estimates Saros sold approximately 300,000 copies in the first 2 weeks on sale. Allegedly. This figure is a little behind on Returnal, a very similar game that was released much earlier than the PS5 lifecycle. It is not a very similar game. It is the same formula. What are you talking about? Similar, bro. It's the same fucking studio. It's the same fucking gameplay with just new mechanics. Why are you guys defending this shit? Saros is the first game developed by Housemarque since the studio was acquired by Sony, having operated independently and primarily developed games for PlayStation system in the years prior. Thus far, a huge percentage of Saros players have previously played Returnal. Obviously, because this game was made for people that play Returnal. A very small percentage of the player base, which also is a roguelike. They're not as popular. Alinea estimates at 79%, and about 1/3 of the game sales thus far were during the early access period, meaning the people that bought the deluxe edition so they could pay it early. This slow start, well, I didn't buy that. I bought the regular version. I even bought the disc copy. I bought a disc copy. This slow start suggests it will struggle to break even, given the reported $76 million development budget, Elliott said in the report. But at the same time, exclusive sells consoles, and the inertia from previous generation does the rest. And the real PlayStation money is made on a third-party launches and legacy third-party live services. Plenty of the core PlayStation players have picked up Plenty of core PlayStation players have picked up who estimates sold approximately 300,000 copies. Plenty of core PlayStation so okay. So the core PlayStation players of the Sony are only 300,000. You see what I'm saying? Like, a first-party Sony game can never do bad because the media always offends it. This is bullshit. Like, Are you serious? Plenty of the core PlayStation players have picked up Saros. Brother, there is more than 300,000. There's 95 million PS5s out there, bro. This just shows you the Returnal was not as popular as everybody made it seem. Now, I'm not taking away how good the game is. I'm just saying that a lot of people just miscalculate that just because it's your favorite game doesn't mean it's everybody's favorite game. And just because a game is decent doesn't mean it's a game of the year, you know? I played it. I have fun with it. The gameplay is amazing, but everything else is trash. I'm sorry. Plenty of core PlayStation players have picked up Saros, which is the undying job an exclusive is meant to do. The power of the exclusive comes at a very interesting time for the industry. Reports in recent months indicate Sony may be moving away from releasing a single-player PS5 game on PC as well. Returnal, for instance, came to PC about 2 years after its console launch, but it's possible Saros will stay as a PS5 exclusive, which could provide potential players a reason to buy a PS5. Now, I don't think this is coming to PC because even when Returnal came to PC, it didn't, as I just showed you guys, it didn't sell that good on PC. They made money off it, but it did not sell that well. Now, don't take away the fact that just because Returnal only sold like about 1 million copies, that is amazing for a new IP, like a brand new IP that nobody knows. That is amazing. I'm not taking that away from Returnal. Do not think I'm making fun of Returnal. I am not. Like, not at all. That is an amazing feat. Let me also give you another example. You guys remember Bluebird Team? That ones that did oh my god, I just had the fucking name. Now I can't remember the damn name, bro. I'm gonna have to look at a file, bro. What is the name of this fucking game? Wow. Chronos, The New Dawn. Oh my god. I can't believe I had a brain fart there. Chronos The New Dawn by Bluebird Team. That didn't even sell a million copies. I think it just reached like it did not sell well. But they said it was amazing and they were happy. Now, Chronos The New Dawn is one of the most underrated horror games out there, bro. If you never played it, please do yourself a favor and pick up a copy. Even if you find it on sale or whatever the fuck you do, that is a game that you should play. But yeah, Returnal did hella well for its release. But it's just, like I said, it was a very niche genre. In my other video that I released, I said it very clearly. This might not sell well. It has a lot of misinformation right now. It had a lot of negativity around this release, which probably held people back. Also, you gotta also understand that there's 2 juggernaut games releasing this month, which is Forza Horizon 6. As I'm recording this video on the 13th, Forza Horizon 6 comes out tomorrow night for the premium edition if you bought the $100 version. And then in 2 more weeks, we got 007 First Light. So Saros came out during the time where there's a lot of heavy hitters, you know? So a lot of people, and it's also PS5 exclusives, which is like locked, you know? It's very restricted. So if people with PS5 don't pull their weight, this game is not gonna sell well. I did my job. I bought my copy on CD. If this game comes to PC, I will buy it on PC, but I will be buying Returnal and trying it out, which is way harder than Saros. I'm just not gonna do it now because, like I said, I have Forza Horizon 6 coming out tomorrow. I will be live. If you want to catch that stream, the link is down below in the description. Please come and show support, even if you're there for only like a second or two, man. I would really appreciate that. But yeah, I just don't know what they're gonna do now because, like I said, this is alleged. You know what? This could all be bullshit. Sony could release tomorrow that Saros sold like 2 million copies and we all good and this video doesn't need to exist. But it's not looking good. It's not looking good at a time Sony wants to create more fans and bring people to buy PS5. And we are in a really tough economy right now. That's another thing that you guys are not understanding. Like, we are in a really tough economy right now and gaming is like a luxury. $70 games are not, like, this is not 2025 when everybody was dropping $70 for every game, man. A lot has changed. A lot of games are like $50, $40 are doing better than $70 games. They're play better. They're better. Like, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Let me know what you guys think about this information. Like I said, this is not official report. This is allegedly, you know? Let me know what you guys think. down below in the comment section. My Twitch is down below in the description. You can come check me out, man, and I will see you guys next time, man. Take care. Mom!